Guys, welcome to Monday Morning Leadership, Monday, October 12th. This is Brad. Thanks so much for joining me. We're back on our topic, part two of failure. Leaders need to know about failure because it's certainly part of success. As a leader, you need to know what's entailed and how to deal with it. So we're back on part two again of 10 strategies for entrepreneurs dealing with failure. It's focused on the business realm. And before we jump, I'm going to do a screen share here on today's meme that I think covers and dovetails it. And I'm going to say this toward the end or at some point during it, success isn't permanent, or we could say success isn't final, and failure isn't fatal. We need to understand that success is a journey, and failure is only failure if you give up, quit trying, but failure is integral to success. In fact, I would challenge anybody to tell me that you can be successful without having any failure at all. I don't believe it's possible. My mentor, Calvin Becerra, who's been very, very successful in the business realm, said he's learned nothing from his success, but everything from his failures. So with that in mind, and this framing our discussion, let's continue today, guys. So last week we noted, and this is just kind of a quick summary wrap up here, but failure may feel like you're being crushed, right? But it's just a feeling. In reality, it is your opportunity to become stronger. And I believe that, failure for entrepreneurs is inevitable, right? And this might come in the form of, small losses. It could lose an important deal to a competitor, a sales deal, or big ones like being able to unable to make payroll, filing bankruptcy, etc. So here's point 6 through 10 to continue. Number 6, you don't take yourself too seriously, okay? Sometimes it feels like the end of the world when we fail. And in some cases, these failures are more extreme than others, right? And I won't go into detail on sharing those, but you can certainly think of some. With that being said, putting your situation in context with the grand scheme of things is relieving. So failure is part of life, right? And say certainly part of business. As difficult as it seems in the moment, everything is going to end up being all right. And I think one of the points to make here is just, it's in our school system, even in business, we're taught that failure is bad and you shouldn't allow it. If you don't get an A, you didn't get the best, that you can't fail, you can't make mistakes. But really, those are the only way we really learn. I would say my life is more errors, mistakes, even financial mistakes, and it has been successes, but you pick it up and you keep moving on. But failure, again, as I just said, is integral to success. So if you understand that, I think it was Thomas Edison that said, if you want to succeed more, double your failure rate. And we were just not taught that, are we? That's kind of counterintuitive. So with that being said, let's hit point number 7 here. Disassociate the failure from yourself as a person. Okay, that's one of the harder parts of failing, is disassociating the situation with you as a person. We tend to take it personally, right? So if your company fails, your business fails, it's easy to blame that 100% on yourself as a person. And that is not the case, though. Everybody deals with failure in their life. Again, you got to say, stop, ask a question, tell me when you failed. What have you failed at? Have you failed at school? Have you failed at business? Have you failed in your marriage? Have you failed at relationships? Somewhere along our journey in life, we have had failure, but it's how we deal with that and how we move on. Imagine what a world would be like if it were easy for everybody to get exactly what they wanted or thought they wanted. Success would be easy. You just show up and boom, you're successful. No challenges, nothing. You wouldn't learn anything, that's for sure. But letting yourself become strongly attached to the failure will make handling it a lot more difficult. So instead, understand and recognize it while continuing to live your life happy with what you are working toward. Again, keeping your eyes on the goal. Have a strong vision to drive you forward. Number 8, don't dwell on it. Okay, so looking back in history, everyone that has accomplished significant work has failed. Again, my mentor, Calvin Becerra, said he's learned far more from his failures than he has from his successes. And that, again, an initial thought when I heard that's counterintuitive, but that is so true. Success doesn't teach anything. Failure is where you really learn. Again, if life was easy, you're born, you went through life, you had no challenges, you went through school, got all A's, you started a business or whatever, or worked for a company, went right to the top, made all kinds of money. What would you learn? Nothing. You just say, hey, life's easy. This is how it should go. What's your problem if somebody else has it? It doesn't work like that. We know intuitively or empirically that that's not how it is. So a couple examples here. J.K. Rowling, famous author, had the Harry Potter books turned down by innumerable publishers. She's a billionaire today. Albert Einstein couldn't even score a gig as a professor. Imagine that, right? So losing happens to everyone, and getting down about it is not going to accomplish anything productive, at least in the long term, okay? So instead, forward thinking will enable you to get past the problem and work toward a brighter future. Fail forward, as John Maxwell says. And then 9, hopefully you will learn from it. Moving on is necessary, but asking yourself why you failed is also important. It's insanity to do the same thing over and over and expect different outcome, right? That's the definition of insanity, right? But how many times are we guilty of doing that? Learning from your mistakes and how you can be better next time is one of the hardest parts of failing. It's difficult to ask those hard questions, right? Again, this takes self-awareness and to deal with the answers that might come up. Again, I'm going to say self-awareness, really key here. Doing so, though, will probably inevitably prevent you from making the same mistakes in the future. And it's been said, it's okay to make a mistake, and then what'd you learn from it? But, if you keep making the same mistake over and over, you haven't learned. So learning from our mistakes and changing what we've done wrong or where we need to tweak things or adjust things is really critical here. And then last point, number 10, you got to understand what you're getting yourself into. Okay, we're talking the entrepreneurial realm here. As an entrepreneur, you're going to face a lot of failure. Trust me, I can say that is very true. I'll probably do another talk here on patience as well. If you're looking for a safe life without many ups and downs, or you have a hard time handling failure, then starting a company, starting a business, being self-employed might not be the thing for you. Okay, got to be realistic. Setting your expectations effectively and knowing what you're in for will help with the challenges. So remember to keep failure in perspective. It's part of life and it's part of the journey of an entrepreneur. And again, remember, you can't have success without failure. Failure and success go hand in hand, right? And success isn't final and failure is not fatal if you learn from it and move on. So leadership requires being able to understand and manage failure. So I hope in doing this 2-part series that this has helped you to put failure into perspective, especially as a leader, and it's added value to you in your journey as a leader. So I appreciate if you got value out of this message, please, and I'm going to share this here, hit the subscribe button, right? So you can get further messages. I do Monday Morning Leadership every Monday. I have other videos as well on my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to be notified of future videos coming up, please hit the subscribe button. And as always, I encourage you to connect with me on social media. I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback, maybe where you failed, what you've learned from it. Let's please start a dialogue. Again, part of being a leader is being able to encourage people to listen, but to encourage people to share their thoughts, share their journeys to success and what they've learned. So guys, thanks so much for joining me and have an awesome Monday. Okay, bye-bye.